Many budget presentations can take too long and can cover too much, and can maybe leave trustees with questions that they shouldn't need to ask, which isn't necessarily the board's fault, it's how the information's being framed to them. So trustees don't need that detail, they need the stories, the choices, and the risks. If your presentation includes a line-by-line structure, you're probably asking them to review too much, so at that point they'll either disengage or they'll start asking questions about minute details because those are the things that they're actually seeing on the report in front of them. But there are a few things that consistently undermine those trustee budget meetings, and one of those can be inconsistent report formats. So perhaps the structure and the headings that they're seeing in the management accounts are then different to the 3-year budget, or your school level reports look different from the trust level reports, and trustees can end up spending energy trying to navigate around the papers rather than actually understanding the position. Another is maybe acronyms and sector-specific language that trustees who come from, a world outside of finance might not be familiar with, which then creates confusion in the reports. What trustees actually need to understand is, what position are we in? What decisions are being made? What could go wrong? And what do you need from us today? The detailed lines and the school breakdowns and the comparisons to the prior year can all go in the appendix. That information should be available to them, but it doesn't need to be in the main report. In my experience working in finance, the board meetings that worked well were the ones where the reports had been shared over a week in advance, meaning that trustees came into the meeting having already absorbed that detail. So sometimes that meant that they'd even shared questions before the meeting, which meant I was already armed with information rather than having to dig into spreadsheets in the middle of the meeting. So what should your budget approval pack actually contain? Maybe a 1-page summary with the overall position, the key assumptions, the headline risks, short narrative explaining the choices, so not just what the numbers are, but why are they what they are, and a clear ask. So what are you looking for trustees to approve? What do you want them to make a note of? What do you want them to make decisions on? If you leave a board meeting without a clear decision, then the meeting hasn't done its job. And if your budget is approved without any questions at all, then that's not necessarily a good sign either. So what good would look like is trustees asking meaningful questions about the strategic picture, which can only really happen when the information is being presented clearly enough for them to engage with it properly. So that a trustee budget meeting has gone well when you have genuine confidence in the figures, trustees understand the position, and the assumptions behind the budget have been clearly articulated and approved. And that last point matters more than people realise. So when the basis of the budget is agreed and it's on record, it gives both you and your trustees something solid to refer back to throughout the year. So frame it right and trustees will ask the better questions, and you'll leave with clarity rather than a list of things to go away and check.